Welcome to Raj Online Trainings. Myself Raj. In the series of Spring Framework and Spring Boot full course, in the last session we have discussed about Spring Data JPA module. Let me just recap. So what is this JPA? JPA stands for Java Persistence API and Hibernate is an implementation of JPA. And here we are discussing about Spring Data JPA module. The advantage of going with Spring Data JPA module is to avoid the boilerplate code. We have seen in Spring JDBC module, we have created one interface student DAO with CRUD operation methods. And we have created one implementation class to implement this student DAO and we have overridden the methods. Like that, in your application, if you are going with 30 DAO interfaces, we have to go with the 30 DAO implementation classes. And in all interfaces and implementation classes, we have to go with this CRUD operation methods. That is boilerplate code. To reduce that boilerplate code only, we go for Spring Data JPA module. So what is this Spring Data JPA? Is used to reduce the amount of boilerplate code required to implement the data access layer. And this Spring Data JPA provides two repositories, that is CrudRepository and JPA repository. So JPA repository having the features of CrudRepository plus pagination methods and even sorting methods. And very important intro question, the implementation of these two interfaces, CrudRepository and JPA repository, is done by using proxy class, right? And how to go with this repository interface? Just we have to create interface like example book repository, extends CrudRepository, go with the entity class name and the primary key data type. And above the interface, we have to go with an annotation @repository and that too optional. And what are the repository methods to perform CRUD operations? We are having like save all method, find by ID, find all by ID, find all, count method, exist by ID, delete by ID, delete all by ID, and delete all. Now let us understand all these methods using an example application. So now let us go with the complete example. Let us initially go with CrudRepository. For that, let us create one Spring Starter project. File, new, Spring Starter project. We are creating in Spring Toolsuite IDE. Let me go with the name Spring Boot Spring Data JPA. Type Maven, Java version 17, group com.rajtech, artifact, it takes the name, and let us go with the package name com.springboot.data JPA. Click on next. Here add the dependencies. We are going to add the dependencies like Spring Data JPA. Then as we are going to connect to MySQL, select here MySQL driver and we'll make use of Lombok tool. Lombok. So these three dependencies we are adding to the project. Click on finish. Now, once the project is created, let us initially go with the entity class. So under src main Java, let us create one new package, that is entities. So let us create a package com.springboot. The spelling is wrong. Let us rename it. com.springboot.data JPA. Now let us create a new package under this com.springboot.data JPA.entities. Click on finish. Now let us create a new class. Let us go with the name of the class as course. Now, let us go with the properties like private string course ID private string, course name, private string, course duration, private in course field. Now, apply the Lambda connotations at the rate no args constructor, at the rate all args constructor, and at the rate data. These are Lambda connotations. Now, to make this course as an entity class, let us go with the annotation at the rate entity. To map with the table, at the rate table, name of the table, let us take it as course details. To mark this course ID as a primary key, at the rate ID. To change the column name, to map with the column name, at the rate column name equal to course underscore ID. Similarly, go with the other columns, at the rate column name equal to course underscore name, at the rate column name equal to course underscore duration. And next one, at the rate column name equal to course fee. So these are our JPA annotations. So this completes our entity class. Now, the next step, let us create one repository interface. Create one repository interface. For that, let us create a package, new package, under com.springboot.jpa. Let us go with repositories. Now, right click on package and say new interface. Let us go with the name of the repository, course repository. Click on finish. Now, this interface we have to see here extends. Let us go with CrudRepository. And what is our entity class name? Course, and the primary key data type is string. And above this interface, use the annotation at the rate repository. That's it. No need to write any methods inside your interface. No need to create implementation class for this interface. That is the beauty of Spring Data JPA module. Now, the next step, let us go with the database connections. Where to provide? Under application.properties file, present under resources folder. Go with the database connection properties like spring.data source driver class name, com.mysql.ck.jdbc.driver, spring.data source URL jdbc mysql / localhost 3306, and let us take the database name RajTechDB. Let me check the database name once. Yeah, RajTechDB. Now, the username spring.datasource.username root, spring.datasource.password root. These four are database connection properties. Provide JPA Hibernate properties like spring.jpa.hibernate DDL data auto update, spring.jpa.showSQL as true. These are our JPA properties. Save this. Now, let us run this project up here. Right click on Spring Boot Spring Data JPA. Right click and say run as Spring Boot app. See it has created the table. See create table course details. Check in your database. Let us use this RajTechDB. Then you can see describe course details. Describe course details. See here. We are having, see the columns, course ID, course duration, course fee and course name. And if you say select star from course details, select star from course details. Now we are not having any records. Now let us add the records. So let us go with the test application. For that, go to this file, the Spring Boot entry class, Spring Boot Spring Data JPA application. Here let us go with the test application. So this is our entry point for our Spring Boot application. Here, let us go with the code. Configurable application context equal to Spring application dot run Spring Boot Spring Data JPA application. Import the packages. Now say codes repository. We are creating reference of codes repository. Say here context dot get bean. What is our bean? Which object we want to create? Codes repository. So we want to create object of codes repository. So this repo is pointing to this codes repository, and this codes repository extends code repository and connected to the entity class codes, and the primary key data type is string here. Now let us insert the codes objects into the table. For that let us go with the insert operation. Create object of codes like code C1 equal to new codes and set the values. C1 dot set codes ID. Let me take full stack Java. C1 dot codes name. Complete name full stack Java. Then C1 dot set codes duration. Let us say 4 months. C1 dot set codes fee. Some 30,000. Now the object is ready with the values. Now this object we want to persist into the table. So for that we have to call which method? Repo.save and parse our codes object C1. That's it. Now see, when we run this application, right click and say run as Java application. You can even right click on project and you can run as Spring Boot app. Both the things are same. See, it's selecting and inserting. And if you check your table, select start from course details. You can see the record got inserted into the table. Now let us see how to insert multiple records. Let me keep this code in comments. Inserting multiple persistent objects using save all method. Now let us create some more courses here. Course C1 equal to new course. To the constructor will pass full stack Python, the course name, full stack Python, then course duration 3 months, course fee sum 25,000. Create one more course object, course C2 equal to new course, UI development. Then you can go with the duration and the fee. Let us take one more course, course C3 equal to new course, CPP, some C++, then 2 months, some 10,000. Some courses, whatever the courses you require, you can add it. Then Once we create these courses, now create a list here, list courses, courses equal to arrays dot as list. To this you pass our courses C1, C2 and C3. We have added these three courses to the courses list. Now by using repo, call the method save all and pass these courses. That's it. So this is going to insert multiple objects into the database table. Now run this code here. So it's going to do the insert operation and check your table. Select start from course details. See, all the courses got added into our table. Now let us go with the next one, count. Let me keep this code in comments. Let us see the number of records present in the table. Count method. So for that you can say in system.out.println, you can say number of courses equal to repo.count. Now see, when we run, we get the number of courses as 4. In our table we are having totally 4 courses. The next one, let us go with the select operation. Select operation based on primary key. Select operation based on primary key. So here you can say course C equal to repo dot find by id. Find by id. Provide your id. If you say fsj full stack java dot get method. So when you say find by id, here we have to pass our primary key, and when you call the get method, it's going to return the object to us. That record will be converted into object. Now display this object. Now when we run, it's going to show our record. See here, it's saying see course id, course name, course duration name, course fee. Now to get all the records from the table, we can say that is select all records. For that we have to use iterable courses equal to repo dot find all. Use the method find all. Then iterate this courses dot for each. Store it into a course object, lambda expression, and print it. System.out.println C object. That's it. We are using this for each method to display these courses. Now see, when we run, see here we are getting the list of courses. So we can even make use of this method reference like this. Courses dot for each. Simply we can use system.out to println. This is called as method reference added in Java 8 version. So if our objective is only to display on screen, we can just go to this method reference. So here what you are doing in the above case, we are storing this course object into C and we are printing. So if our objective is only to print on screen, we can make use of method reference. So these are features of Java 8 version. Now see, when we run, we get the same result. We get the list of courses. Now the next one, update operation. Like, let us get the course parts. Course equal to repo dot find by id. Find by id will say fsj dot get. Once you get this record based on primary key into the course object, for this course full stack Java, the fee is 30,000. Now we want to make it 35,000. So set the value now. C dot set course fee as 35,000. Now see the object got updated. Now by using this repo, we use the same save method and pass our course object. So when we are using save method, and since it is already existing primary key, this save method is going to do update operation. So this save and save all methods, we call it as upset methods. So it is doing both the operations, that is inserting and updating. Run the code. It's going to do the update operation. See, it's selecting and updating. And if you check your table, see for this full stack Java, the fee has updated to 35,000. The next one, delete operation. So delete based on primary key. We want to delete the record based on primary key. So you can just use repo.delete by ID, delete by ID, where we provide the ID here. So that is primary key. Now, before we delete, we want to check whether this record is present in the table or not. If it is existing, how to check that? If repo.exist by ID full stack Java FSG, then only we are going to delete. Else we'll provide the message course does not exist. Course does not exist. Now let me change the name here. Let us say something like FS Java. This primary key is not available. Then when we run, we have to get the message course does not exist, since it is not available. So here it's going with the message course does not exist. Now let me provide the correct spelling here for the primary key FSG. Now see, when we run, that record will be deleted. Okay, the record is deleted. Check your table. See, here we are not having now full stack Java. Now let us delete all the records. Deleting all the records, all the persistent objects, you can say. So for that, we had simply use repo.delete all. Repo.delete all. Now see, when we run, all the records will be deleted. So it's deleting all the records. And check your table. We are not having any records. Now, as a simple task to you, so already I have discussed this method, save all method, find by ID method I have discussed, find all method we have discussed, count, exist by ID, delete by ID, delete all. These all methods I have discussed. Now it is a small task to you. You make use of these methods, find all by ID and delete all by ID. This is like a small assignment to you. So try to make use of these methods, right? So please practice this. This Spring Data JPA module is very, very important in our projects, right? Now, in the next class, in the next session, we'll see how to make use of find by methods. We have to learn about find by methods that we'll be discussing in the next session. Please subscribe, like and share. Thank you.